tonight I would like to talk about addictions. Not in the addictions in the way you think of food addictions or drug or alcohol addictions, but addictions to our behavior and our belief systems. And of course, most people never think about it that way. But really, when you look at it, when you have a system that works for you, you're addicted to it. The reason is I work, so I'm always going to do this. Or if there's some kind of a system you're using or behavior that causes blocks or fears or doubts, you're addicted to it. And after a while, what you don't realize is you're on automatic. In other words, you repeat and do things without even thinking about it. And that is your subconscious mind, because like I said before, 94% of your thinking comes from your subconscious mind. So this addiction of, well, I tried to do this once and I failed at it, so I'll never be able to do it again. And every time you're faced with that same type of decision you have to make, and you go, well, I failed at it, and this whole tape is playing, and you become more and more addicted to failure or not working. That's what we need to realize. What is holding you back? What is blocking you? And what thoughts are you addicted to? Very important. What are those thoughts? Now, there are thoughts that are limiting, and there are thoughts that are expanding. Notice my choice of words. Limiting and expanding. Don't like the word negative as much or hateful. So let's look at the limiting thoughts. And perhaps you're an athlete and say, I can't do this or I can't do that. And you become addicted and you talk yourself into something that it can't be done, or whether it's math or whether it's computers or whatever. And I will tell you, I am challenged with computers. So, and I know that if I work hard enough, I can overcome that temporary challenge. So that's an addiction. Let's look at addiction. Food, yeah. It's addiction to things not going right in your life. Just think about it. You know, the old cliche is, money burns a hole in my pocket, I'll never have enough money. You've heard people say that. Sure enough, they're addicted to that belief system. And what happens? Bing, it happens. They never have enough money because something always happens. And I was talking to some of my friends, and I'm addicted to this. My mother grew up and always said, when the right palm itches, money's coming in. When the left palm itches, means company's coming or someone's going to call you. So I grew up with it. I didn't know what it was. To this day, many years later, whenever my right palm itches, I know there's money coming in. Somebody's sending me a check. They're calling up, sending me money. Even if it's a penny, whatever it is, I always know that happens. So why is this happening? Because I'm addicted to that belief system, which I'm sending out an antenna of energy to pick up who's going to be sending me money. Now, am I consciously doing it? Nope. But unconsciously, I am doing it through my subconscious mind. You know, our subconscious mind is in tune with everything that has existed or have ever existed or will exist. It's always in tune with it. Just think, many years ago, you know, people didn't have computers. Now we have computers. Or you didn't have cell phones. You had landlines. Now you have that. And then on and on and on and on. Things keep changing and changing. But what I want everyone to reflect upon is, what is your addiction that's limited? And I would say to you is when a person says, you know, I can't do it because it's limited belief. I can't. As I wrote in my Facebook, it means you won't. And I will confront people with that and won't cajole them. And they get angry or upset with me. And most of them begin to change, but not all. So what is that tape of limitations that we're playing over that we're addicted to? It's our fears or doubts of insecurity. And, you know, people say, some people I still meet, and it blows my mind, they can't swim. Wow, you're 50 years old and you can't swim? Why? I'm afraid of drowning. That's an addiction. They'll never learn to swim. And I know the Native Americans, when a child reaches a certain age, they just throw them in the lake. And that child learns how to swim or does the crawl or whatever, and eventually learn how to swim. I'm not advocating doing that. But on the other hand, these are the way we can learn things. And I looked at my generation, and my generation was, you want money? Go out and get a job. And so I was addicted to being independent and getting a job and realizing the only one I can depend upon is myself. And then, my family or friends may interject and help me, but I learned to be independent and learned to be strong, which is a gift. Because those who are that way, and they're now addicted in another way to being strong and independent, what happens is you become more successful. But it also limits you because, there are varying degrees. And I was talking to a very powerful spiritual friend of mine, and she said somebody offered her something, and she said, no, I can't do it. No, I can't have them buy me lunch. I can't have them do that. That's terrible. I can't. And I said, why? Well, I just think it's the wrong thing, and I don't want to take advantage of people. So she's in this addiction of not wanting to take advantage of people. And then I said to her, what you're doing is you're telling the universe you're not worthy. So what do you mean? When someone's giving you a gift and you turn it down, you're saying you're not worthy of the gift. Maybe that isn't your conscious intention, but your subconscious intention is that, because you don't feel you're worthy. So what I teach is if someone offers you a gift, you always accept. And if you're unhappy with the gift, then you give it away. But you don't want to hurt that person's feeling. So what are your addictions? What are your addictions in life that are limiting you? And what are your addictions in life that are opening the doors for you? And it's really important. I grew up, my mother said, when somebody talks to you, Michael, and they ask you how you feel, just say, fantastic. That's it. They don't want to hear any of your problems. And I remember one time it was excruciating pain, and they said to me, how do you feel? I go, fantastic. No, I'm not. I'm in excruciating pain. But that's the way I train my mind to think. And with that attitude, you can do anything. You can be anything. I don't care what your education is. I don't care what you've done. Where there's a will, there's a way, that old expression. So get out of your addictions that are limited and get into your addictions, so to speak, that are positive and expanding. But always be open. Don't have tunnel vision. And what you will find is that you will increase the love and joy in your life. You'll have more success, prosperity, and abundance. The reason I was hesitating for the true source was pointing out to me just now, vis-a-vis a picture, was that so many people are so afraid of the coronavirus. They're addicted to the fear that they may come down with it. Well, there's a universal law, and the universal law says what you fear the most, you're going to draw into your life. Hello? Why would that happen? Because you will learn how to overcome it. You will learn that it is a no thing. The word nothing means no thing. And that's important for us to realize, or you just say you don't have time for it. And every time we look at our life and we say, well, things aren't working out right, well, why aren't they working out right? Do you have limited thinking? And I always tell everybody, if you're up against a strong problem, you need to look at how you created it and then uncreate it. Well, another word is reverse engineering. And that's so important because if you're eating too much candy, and you got problems with your teeth, then you need to stop eating candy. That's reverse engineering or uncreating it. Or if you feel you don't have enough money and your car's falling apart and you're living in lack or living in no abundance, you've created that by your thoughts of being unworthy or low self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. Understanding that, now you have a door that you can open up and say, well, now I realize I created all these things in my life, and I can uncreate or reverse engineering it. And what are my limitations? My limitations are my thoughts, my belief systems. And maybe those came from family, friends, or relatives, or whatever. And there was one family member I remember that I was talking to, and their daughter wanted to become a psychologist. And she said to her at 8 years old, you're not smart enough. And I was ready to take the mother and wring her neck. And the daughter just believed that. And she went to 3 colleges before she graduated. But she helped overcome it. Now she's a chief financial officer of a large corporation. It's not psych, but she's now very successful. all this could have been changed, and she could have been very successful way before then. But life sometimes teaches us a lesson and gives us a direction to go into. So in this coming week, when all of you shut off the radio and TV, stop listening to all the press, stop listening to all the controversy, stop listening to all the stuff that's going on, and just follow your heart, not your emotions, but your heart, so you do the right thing. What feels right? Going out to dinner maybe with some friends, or maybe, just sitting home or reading a book, or whatever it is. But we are so consumed with the news. And, the news we have today is opinions, and everybody's entitled to their opinions, but it's really not news, maybe except for the weather. So what we become is our thinking changes because it becomes limited or unlimited based upon what we hear on radio, TV, or from others. But it's time for us to stop our limitations, be addicted to our limitations, become addicted to whatever brings us joy and happiness. So I want to charge all of you in this coming week, do whatever you can, each and every day, each and every moment, to do something that you're addicted to that brings you love and joy to you, not anyone else, to you. And as you do that to yourself, you will find your days become happier, you'll become more healthy, your vibrations and frequencies will rise, and you will not get sick, and you'll have a much happier and fulfilling life.